Hey guys, Matt Wilson, Rayon Manufacturing, and this is the reason why dominant dog collars. The dominant dog collar has been around for a very long time. You can see these in kind of couple different versions, whether it's just kind of two loops that you slide through, kind of like a choke chain. They're meant to be placed pretty high on the dog's neck. There's kind of a groove that if you feel behind your dog's ears, between the skull and the ear and the jawline, there's kind of this perfect groove that a dominant dog collar fits in perfectly. We really, really like the Raider Canine dominant dog collars, and with that being said, it's kind of my most used one. A dominant dog collar got its name by being used on dominant dogs. And the whole idea, and the way that I explain it to most people, is it's kind of like jiu-jitsu, right? Like when I did jiu-jitsu just for a little bit of time, I remember getting choked out the first time, and the instructor telling me it's like elevator doors, and that's exactly what I experienced. It was like, as I'm getting choked out, it was just slowly. About right here is when you're supposed to be tapping, and if you're not tapping, you're out. This kind of does the same kind of concept. It can be used as a correction, and it can be used as a kind of like a corrective device for a dominant dog. So if we think about it not in the sense of a police dog or this could be a golden retriever, this can be, a Swiss mountain dog, this could be kind of any kind of bigger dog, even a small dog that's pulling hard. And the whole idea is that, when a dog postures, right? Dogs don't speak to each other. I don't know if you guys knew that. But they don't speak English or Spanish or French or Dutch or German. We teach them those words. Dogs communicate mostly through pressure, through correction, through a lot of different scenarios, but almost none of them are verbal. And the reason for a dominant dog collar is, it goes around the dog's neck, high and tight. And if you think about it, if we think about a flat collar is like taking 4 fingers and putting them on your neck and pushing in evenly. When you do this, I can still talk. Like, it's not that annoying to me. Yeah, I can tell it's there, but I can still talk just fine. A dominant dog collar is like taking 1 finger, you put it up high, and what that does is as it gets pulled, it's cutting off that kind of right in that gag reflex and closing those elevator doors. And the dog's doing this on their own. You're not putting any more pressure. I mean, you could be a correction, but I'm saying just putting on pressure, and the doors start closing, and the dog naturally, as the doors start closing, tap out. And their way of tapping out is taking off the pressure. And what they learn by that is, the more pressure they put in, the more uncomfortable, the more that they are going to kind of tap out, right? Tap out and get the pressure released, pull back, right? So that's kind of where the philosophy of a dominant dog collar comes from. The other really good thing for this is, the different departments and military people, they call them liftoffs or choke offs or dog offs or whatever. And there will be comments. There are people like, the dog needs a better out. The dog needs to be better trained. I totally get that. We're not training. I'm not talking about that right now. What I'm talking about is like, there are also dogs that like don't tap. And where a dominant dog collar comes in, especially when it's sitting high and tight, if we're doing that kind of lift off, we got that leash, he's on a bite, overhand grip, kind of thumbs on the back. So we're pushing and we're kind of doing this, which is causing, you can see the circumference of that kind of come away. That's putting that pressure right there. And what you're doing is you're hitting that gag reflex, and they're going to naturally go off of a bite. And when they do that, that's getting them away. So dominant dog collar works not only as like stopping dominant behavior by closing those elevator doors on our everyday dog, but it's a great tool for lift offs, choke offs, whatever we want to call them. The other reason is it's a lot quieter than a choke chain. When this is on a dog and this is tight, that might be all you're hearing. And on target, as Ben Rader explains, you don't want that running through the halls. So a dominant dog collar is also a great silent tool. So this is The Reason Why by Ray Allen Manufacturing, the dominant dog collar. Hope this information helps, guys. Thank you.